Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm gonna answer a few very spicy questions from Reddit. I love Reddit, I also love Discord. I don't really have the time to go there because every time I feel like reading a lot for a couple of hours, I'm thinking, maybe I should just record the video or edit something in a nicer way, etc. But when I do go, and I went there for my previous video where I talked about a few rumors that are catching feet about the Western release. It's just such an enjoyable time for me to just browse Reddit, new player questions in particular, people that come into the game and they're wondering about a variety of things. I think it's important to answer new player questions. It's important to tell people what they want to know about our MMORPG, because then we have the biggest chance of, growing our community. Before we dive into the spice, my boys, I would just like to say a huge thank you to all of you basically who watch me, and I also thank you for being supportive of me with the few paid promotions that I do. Today is one of them, and I would also like to thank Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. This month is their second anniversary, so basically they've been out for fewer than I've been waiting for Lost Ark, and I'm one of the new ones waiting for the game. And for their anniversary, Raid wants to give back to their community, recognizing that they've started small and then they got big. Currently #1 RPG in the US, over 1 million players playing it, and to their millions of players who create cosplays, songs, guides on YouTube, they wanted to give something back for their birthday, and they are actually doing that. It's never been a better time to join Raid Shadow Legends than it is now. So if you're a new player and you want to have some fun, since we're all waiting here like ducks anyway, might as well use my links in the description. It helps me and it helps you also discover an interesting game that you can play on the side of whatever else you're doing on your PC. Raid has 6 straight weeks of anniversary events and tournaments running from March 1st all the way through the middle of April, so you still have time to catch many of them. A lot of goodies are given out, all of them with insane prizes to win. They're even launching their first ever clan versus clan tournament to give players a chance to compete directly against other guilds to see who comes out on top. And if that's not enough, they just released 12 new champions, the heroes that they have, very addictive by the way to gather them all, in the badass looking Shadowkin faction. So if you want to get a huge head start in Raid, this is the month, and all you have to do is click my links in the description or scan my QR code, and you're gonna get also a free epic quality champion called Jotun, 100,000 silver, 50 gems, and the 3 ancient shards, so you can actually summon some really cool heroes straight from the get-go. You can find all of these goodies after you log into the game in your account's inbox, top right corner. You click it and here they are. Obviously on Reddit, the most popular question, same as everywhere else really, in the comment section of my videos, on Discord, everywhere: when is Lost Ark coming out to the West? Now I'm just gonna answer that because it's a super fast one. There is nothing official about Lost Ark in the West. Everything is a rumor, and that's it. We don't know when it's coming. We have no announcement, not a single word, not a tweet, not a website, not a post, not a Discord, nothing official. Now on my YouTube channel, in case you're new to my channel, nice to meet you by the way, we've been having a lot of fun with the release of Lost Ark in the West. I've been trying at least to make the best out of a bad situation. We all know there's nothing, right? But what am I supposed to do in this time in which there's nothing and we really like the game and we want it already to come out since 2 years ago? We're trying to have fun, and we've been having a lot of fun with some of my videos in which I made some cameos about Lost Ark Western release. Kip goes visits them, there's a riot, there's an explosion, there's these kinds of nice things. A question from Masilius, he is asking, will there be a Discord for EUNA anytime soon? My boy, there already is a Discord for EUNA. Obviously it's not official because, as I just said, we don't have anything official, but it's a fan-made Discord with tens of thousands of players there that like or have liked in the past Lost Ark, and there's also a few who hate it, obviously. And they're all gathered there in a nice bunch of information, help, support, and questions answered, and so on. I'm gonna put a link to that fan-made Lost Ark EUNA Discord in the description below so you can actually have it. Next question right here, what do we have? Why is this game so hyped up? This is where we're starting to get into the spice right here. I'm testing this currently on the Russian server and I'm level 38. 38. That's pretty nice for a new player. I'm just saying. I feel like despite the good looking areas, the leveling is mind-numbingly boring, to say the least. The difficulty is non-existent, the combat is slow, and animations are locked. Listen, he makes 3 valid points. I'm gonna go through them through my eyes and my experience of over 2 years playing this. The leveling is boring. The leveling is hideous when you go after the 3rd character. Me personally, I have about 20 characters leveled up normally and probably another 15 boosted up with money in recent times. So I get it. Now, if you're at your first character and you're just discovering Lost Ark and you're a passionate player about MMORPGs, then you're not gonna feel that Lost Ark's leveling is in any way worse than World of Warcraft's leveling, than Aeon's leveling, than Terra's leveling, than mostly any other leveling in any MMORPG out there. Final Fantasy leveling, it's all the same boring, mind-bending yellow quests, go talk and listen to people, watch cutscenes, and that's about it. There is nothing special in terms of Lost Ark's leveling process. And yes, for people who maybe come from other types of games, like, I don't know, Path of Exile. There's many people who come from Path of Exile here, they see the camera, they think it's that kind of a game, even though it's not. But I'm just saying, more energetic, more fast-paced, or different games, like for example Guild Wars 2, they have a different leveling system. It's still boring, but it's a little bit differently boring, right, than most. The difficulty is non-existent. Yes, the difficulty has been lowered a lot since Lost Ark's release. Back in the day, 2.5 years ago, when I first started, it wasn't really that easy, to be honest, to get into a group, not to get into a group, but to play with a group, the leveling up dungeons, and to just breeze through them. I'm just gonna say it as it is. It was actually quite tough. To be fair with you, at about level 24, when I hit what's the name of that dungeon? It's the first big dungeon. It's Morai Ruins, right? When I hit that one, I actually spent about 6 hours trying to complete that particular dungeon. And it was with a group first, then they disbanded, and another group, and another group, and another group, and we kept wiping and we kept dying so much that all of my rewards that I got from, as you level up, you get Feathers of Resurrection and so on, diamonds, a little bit of diamonds, all of them were just gone in Morai Ruins in my first run, because that's how much I had to rest up inside the dungeon. It was actually incredibly difficult. Now Morai Ruins is also a little bit difficult now, but throughout time, because you can imagine this game is 2.5 years old already for them, they have lowered the difficulty a lot, and now everything is about, let's say, playing solo and finishing the leveling up process solo, the leveling up dungeon solo, and so on. Before, when I leveled up at the beginning, my first, 10 characters, it wasn't like that. It was actually a more challenging experience. However, challenging in terms of leveling process is completely pointless. There's really no need to have a challenging MMORPG as you are level 14 and a half. There's no gain in that. You're not proving that you're anyhow better, or you're not gaining any skill from bosses being brutal or mobs being brutal, right? So in my opinion, this is a good thing. As for the combat being slow and animation locked, now combat is not slow. Obviously at level 38, that like he was, combat does feel slow, because depending on your luck, on the pieces that you put on yourself, they could potentially have agility, which makes you faster, or they cannot have, and that makes you just defaultly slow. However, at endgame, mostly every single class that you would expect to be fast is fast. Some classes are incredibly fast and you don't even feel the animation. Some of the assassins, for example, a couple fighters, they are really fast because of the way they spec with the stats that come from the gear, and also because of the class itself, right? Now, other classes, they don't want to be fast. Like for example, a bard. A bard doesn't need to be fast, and whoever plays bard and whoever plays a support class in other MMORPGs is not crazy about being fast. Probably this person played a DPS class, maybe a berserker or a destroyer, and those are actually in between fast and slow. Berserker is at times fast with the innate skill, but even at end game, berserker is slower than an assassin or than a fighter, right? So it's pretty normal. Combat in Lost Ark is gorgeous and absolutely amazing to just get your fingers on it, but normally the class that you play dictates the pace of your combat. Getting into the game, what makes this game stand out? Oh boy, where do I start? I think the one thing for me, the one thing that I fell in love with in Lost Ark is the experience of quality in an MMORPG. Everything from a leaf to your character to a raid boss to mechanics and combat and systems inside the game are of the absolute utmost best quality possible. And for me, that really impressed me when I started in 2018. Right now in 2020, everything just got better. The systems within the game, it just got better. The PvP is exceptional right now, completely fair, equalized, done in a very nice way with esports. The PvE content is also much more polished, and they've added these little stains of different colors inside the PvE content, where you have 16-man PvE content that's instanced, you have 8-man. These things did not exist at the beginning, so they've changed the whole experience of creating a character and diving into the world of Lost Ark is such a polished, modern experience that I really just cannot find the appropriate words of describing the joy and the excitement that comes into being a Lost Ark player. Does this game force you to play with more than one character? I briefly mentioned it before. By force, I don't mean it's obligatory, but I have played games like BDO or DFO where you get a significant advantage if you play more than one character. Yes, this game gives you a significant advantage if you play more than one character. Having alts in Lost Ark is a joy. Me personally, I don't know, I've just leveled so many characters that just having other characters or alts in on my account just seems so normal. On top of that, in recent patches, they have kind of made alts, like this person Ozen is saying, give you a significant advantage, because with alts you have separate cooldowns for content within the game, and because content in Lost Ark is two of these and 3 of those per day, then you would like more 2 of these, 3 of those, and more 2 of these, 3 of those. And because of that, alts are very important. You can have the same class. I personally, my plan for the Western release is to actually have about 4 summoners and then 1 blaster, 1 devil hunter, something like that. I'm gonna go and I would like to play all of them because it just makes you play the game more. And yes, it's not your main character, but playing all of your alts literally help visibly. They help visibly your main character's progression, and because of that, they're very important. You can make gold, you can make mats that you can funnel into your main, and when your main passes the tier or the item level that your alts can farm for, then your alts can just sell those materials on the broker and give your main the raw gold that you make from them. And it gives you again the chance to play the game more, which for me that is the most exciting part. Having just one character in Lost Ark is very doable. You do not need this distinct advantage, because Lost Ark is not about being fast. People take Lost Ark fast. The game itself, and every MMORPG, this is one of them, is about lasting long. It's not about, boom, 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 boom. Now, item level, max item level, 809, tier 1, boom, I'm done. What next? Nothing. Highly considering this game, preemptive questions about pay to win. Question number 1, what could you say about the pay to win element in this game? Can I thoroughly enjoy playing, and is grinding worth it without pulling out my wallet? Grinding, as I've just talked about in the previous comment, grinding is absolutely worth it. Alts are absolutely worth it. You make so much gold from them, and you can get so much more ahead with your main than you would without alts, that it's absolutely worth the grind. Grinding in Lost Ark means something. In WoW it means something else. In Aeon it means something else. In BDO it means, I don't know, something else. Farming open world. In every game there is a grind. And if it's a grind, it's a bad thing. Obviously, nobody likes it. In Lost Ark there is a specific kind of grind. Right now it's making alts. The more alts you make, the more time you enjoy and love this game and play it, the more the game rewards you. Which I think is a great thing to have as the grind. There's nothing more brutal, more boring that other MMORPGs have. So yes, this is the question number one. Yes, you can thoroughly enjoy this game without pulling out your wallet. Depends what you enjoy in the game. If you play with 3 other friends and you're really close, but they do want to pull out their wallet, they will very fast zoom past you and get to the end. And then 2 months later, you, as a guy who plays 1, 2, 3 characters, will also get there. But in this time, your friends won't really necessarily have any interest in playing with you as you are still catching up to their item level. And until you get to a bare minimum where you are allowed to enter the content that they do, there's no real incentive for them to play with you. They're gonna one-shot everything you have to do, and that's not fun for you at all. And you will not get any loot from the things that they do, even if they carry you, right? You still have to hit a bare minimum of an item level. Question number 2, is there a player-driven economy? He talks about Conquerors Online and supply and demand, items, dedicated prices and stuff. Yes, in Lost Ark, the whole economy is player driven. With Season 2, which is the most recent update to Lost Ark, in case you're new and don't know, with Season 2, they've actually made 99.5% of the needed materials to progress and to get everything in the game, they are on the auction house. Everything you want is on the auction house, basically. So that means it's a fully player-driven economy. So if you put in the time in this game and play alts not only to farm the cooldowns, but also to gather plants, mushrooms, logs in the open world, and then sell them on the broker, or craft yourself, or find yourself the best way for you to do things. Which dungeons do you do, which raids do you do, so you can sell some material. If that's your cup of tea, then yes, you have in Lost Ark an auction house that has absolutely everything on it. So it's a player-driven economy. Now, to answer your big question, is the game pay to win? I would not call Lost Ark pay to win in the sense in which the majority understands that. However, after I've been playing it for so long, I don't see anything that there is to win in Lost Ark after you pay. So I am unable to call it pay to win just because there's nothing to win. Now, is there something to pay for? Yes, there's a lot. And the new person that comes to the game, he sees a cash shop, he sees the fact that you deposit real money and you get gold that you can spend on everything on the auction house, on enchanting your gear, getting better item level, maxing yourself out with gold, with unlimited real money, euros, dollars. Obviously that sounds like pay to win, right? And for me to be grammatically correct and appeal to what the majority would think about this, yeah, sure. If you want to say it like that, Lost Ark is pay to win. However, it's missing the win factor completely. There is a win if you beat something with your money. Something or someone, a player or a boss. Do you beat him because of your real money? Then that's winning something. There's a win when, if you are maxed out, something starts for you then. Some great way of making more gold and surpassing all of the free-to-play players. Is there such a thing in Lost Ark? Absolutely not. When you are maxed out in Lost Ark, if you're not still putting in all of the effort with your alts and so on, you're gonna make fewer gold than a guy that's 200 or 300 item levels under you. Because that guy, if he puts in the hours in the game, is just gonna pass you. You've just hit that point fast. Many people like to call it a pay to progress fast or a pay to progress, which means that you paid 1,000 euros and you're maxed out. Takes you about 2 hours. Good for you. Now start winning something. There's nothing to win in Lost Ark. PvP is completely fair, and in terms of PvE content, yes, if you consider a win the fact that you can now do that last raid, which is the same raid as I'm doing, just looks different. You get the same things, the same ideas goes behind it, just looks different and is a little bit more challenging in mechanics. Then if you consider that a win, then okay, sure, Lost Ark is pay to win because you've won the opportunity of doing that raid faster than me. But that's the only thing you win in Lost Ark with real money. And of course your time, you win a little bit of that also, because you don't need to spend so much time playing the game, I guess, but that's kind of lame to say, because if you want to play an MMORPG but you actually don't want to play the game, I really don't know why you're playing MMORPGs, why you're playing any game if you just want to pay to skip all the content. Now paying for some convenience, paying for some pots so that you wouldn't have to craft because you hate crafting but you love this kind of this genre, this kind of game, then sure, that's fine, you know, pay 1,000 euros on pots, have a lifetime supply. But to pay for everything, to pay to skip playing the game, this for me is just idiocracy, and I will never understand this. However, it is how it, especially when you don't have anything to win. If you would have something to win, if you would get better in PvP, and I would be able to one-shot that bullied me throughout my leveling process, then of course I would pay 500 euros to kill that bully all the time, because he's a free-to-play player. Yeah, but I'm winning. In Lost Ark, you're not winning. These are all the questions that I wanted to answer today, my boys. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'm gonna see you really soon with Striker versus Battle Master, split screen, all of the skills 1-to-1, so you guys can see what's the difference with this new gender unlock. The most recent one just came last week, and that's about it. Unless we have some exciting news for EUNA, then I'm gonna skip that video and do the news. I wish you guys lots of love again. Thank you so much for watching, and see you really soon.